What's up, guys?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing?
Good. All right, Jay, you want to kick us off?
Recording in progress.
How we doing, Spencer?
Good, Jay. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. A little drier this time, which is nice.
No doubt.
Hey, Spencer, honestly, I could sugarcoat this question, but I'm just going to be direct. What happened in the run game against UCF, and how do you guys fix that thing moving forward?
Yeah, obviously disappointing, especially the yards we gave up. I mean, run and pass, it's not something we are proud of and got to work to get it fixed. And it's all three phases. I mean, there's things we got to clean up front from the D line to the edge players, some of the fits with the backers. There's some tackling issues. There's some situations where they ran the ball and we thought they're going to pass, and I probably could have put them in better calls. So obviously, first and foremost, I take responsibility of it. And then from all three phases, we're going to get it fixed. And a lot of it starts just with fundamentals and techniques, playing those better, and not guessing and trying to play different calls. So it's a fundamentals and technique deal, as well as just obviously putting them in good situations.
Spencer, with JL Skinner over the offseason, he said he really worked on his confidence, and he credited the coaching staff for helping him with that. On UCF's first touchdown drive, he missed a couple of tackles that probably hurt at that time. But the way that he came back and played, how much did that show of his growth, and how impressed were you with JL's physicality and just ability to fly around in that game?
Yeah, it was huge, Jay. And that's been, a huge thing for JL and his growth. And we use the term neutral mindset to where, you don't get too high at the highs, too low at the lows. You can focus on the facts to have a positive response. And that's something that he struggled with in the past. And everybody does to some extent, right? But he's grown so much, and you can even see him and talking to the guys on the sideline, him talking about, next play, like we're going to be fine, next play, and keeping other people's confidence up as he keeps his own, because as the game goes throughout, he played really well. And there's things that even, we talk with him, he can even be better, but it's cool to see him respond, even after making, maybe a bad play or a bad decision, having him come back and make some big ones after that is huge.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thanks, Jay.
Hey, Spence, how's it going?
What's up, Ron?
So we've heard a lot about the fundamentals of tackling and how that was missing in the game. But now that you're in the season and you don't have the same amount of practice time as in the fall, how do you address those fundamentals?
No, good question, Ron. I mean, we have obviously tons of drills to, we break down tackling the three phases, which is tracking, punch, and finish. And so it's, one of those is usually screwed up, if not all of them, with a missed tackle. More times than not, it goes with your eyes. Your eyes are high, you're looking at the ball carrier's head, and those tailbacks were good. And if our eyes aren't right and our angles aren't right, then we're going to miss, which showed up a lot. Showed up either in attacking the quarterback and some of our pocket leverage, the amount of scramble yards we gave up, as well as those tailbacks or receivers in the open field. So we have different drills that we're going to work with our guys, different from all three phases that we're going to work throughout the week. And then just obviously having an understanding and an emphasis of how we teach it from the meeting room to the practice field to get that stuff fixed, because we need to.
And we didn't see Scale much in the game, but Scott really stood out in some pretty key areas. His first big sack, he just drove the left tackle 3-4 yards behind the line and got the sack. What stands out the most about him this season to you?
Just his prep. How he preps himself physically to mentally is awesome to see. He's a kid that, like I've talked before, he's going to be the first one here, one of the last ones to leave, and seeing, things go well for him is awesome. Obviously, even talking with him, there's so much he needs to grow on, and we're excited for him to take that step, because he hasn't even reached his potential in regards to how he can play in all downs. And so I'm excited to see his growth too.
You think we'll see him as a blocker a little bit more?
I told Coach Plowman, we gotta be smart on it, but no, I know he loves it. I love the connectedness.
Good luck.
Thanks, Ron.
How are you, Spencer?
Hey, BJ, congrats on the win, man.
The only time all year you'll be able to say that, so I appreciate it. I've lost my train of thought, man.
All right, BJ, see you, brother.
I'm singing the fight song. Yeah, I'll take care. Okay, Kala Kiniho's targeting call. Just what does that do for you guys in the first half against UTEP, and what's your plan there, and what do you Andy said it was just kind of a bang play, and you just what was your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. Bang, bang play, balls in the air. You're trying to go play the ball. And then all of a sudden the man's there. Obviously, you look at it, it's targeting. Wasn't an intentional deal by him by any means, but it is. And so now obviously it's our plan as coaches to plan on what it looks like for the first half against UTEP, especially at the nickel position. And getting Rodney Robinson running, which I was excited that he was ready to go. He had a really good game on special teams, and cool to see Rodney come in and contribute when Kala came out the targeting penalties. So we're going to have him and then work on some other guys rolling in at that position too. So it's going to be another way that we can create depth at that position while Kala's on the sideline for the first half.
With Tyrique Labeouf and those 2 interceptions, I mean, he was a guy that I think everybody, media fans, whatever, thought Markel was going to get one of the spots. And then all the transfers you guys brought in, they were kind of being brought up as the leading guys. And, Tyrique Labeouf quietly wins the job. And then in the first game has 2 picks, had the 1 pick last year. I mean, what can you say about him and the job that he did in that game and, the outlook for him moving forward?
Yeah, I was really excited for Tyrique, especially all he's been through to get to that point and the work he's put in to get to that point too. And just like every position, I'm going to keep hitting. There's obviously a lot of growth that still needs to happen. But it was just cool to see him get those interceptions. Obviously, huge plays for our team in that game. We needed them, but it's cool to see him come up with them, and also being able to find some different things for him to where he can see on film plays that he's doing what we want him to do, playing with the right techniques, and he's playing well. And there's some plays that he can grow. Just like every position and just like every coach, there's always some good, and there's some things that you can look at and be like, man, if we played this the way, we're teaching, this can even be better than it was. So excited for him to take a big step from week 1 to week 2, but proud of what he did over fall camp. And he takes coaching. He's a great kid to be around. I'm excited for him to keep growing.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, BJ.
Bob and Will.
Spencer, I want to ask a little bit about UTEP. It looks like they run the ball pretty well with multiple backs. Tell me what we want to expect to see from them and maybe the styles of the running backs and what you guys will need to do to slow them down.
Yeah, UTEP, obviously a physical running team. They got a good O-line, really good backs, multiple run schemes. They operate out of 21 personnel, 12. They got a lot of personnel, a lot of run schemes. So excited for the challenge. I know our guys are excited to get back on the field to take the next step in this season. But it's going to be a good challenge for us. And obviously started game planning them a little bit over the summertime and yesterday. So cool to watch a little bit of their game last night on TV. And so we're getting that broke down. But it's going to be a good challenge. Like I said, they've got multiple running backs that can play, that can run, that are tough to tackle. They got a big old line that can move their feet, and they got tight ends and fullbacks that are going to go get you. So excited for the task. I know our guys are excited for the task as well, and excited to get back on the field.
When you look at the game against UCF, if I said there was one thing that you could definitely have improved for week number 2, what would you want to focus on?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm excited to grow on, I mean, obviously there's a long list, but tackling will be one of them. We can control that. We can get that fixed, the angles, the eyes, and when we get to it, and then, keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket. Those would be the 2 things that, you take away some of the scrambles that he gets out, can make throws, or he takes off on long runs, then some of the missed tackles, you're in a better place. And so there's a lot to grow in. There's a lot I need to grow in, and we're going to.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, Spence, what do you think of the performance from Isaiah Banya?
Excited for him, Will. Just the adversity he's gone through, from he's been banged up, and he's had guys that have, essentially gotten the starting job in front of him. And it's just so cool to see. And I actually talked to our defense this morning about it, because it's just cool to see him grow in the things that he needed to work on and come out on a stage like that and get 2 sacks, which was awesome. And he even had a couple more he could get when he continues to grow in it. And he's got the skill set you need at the edge. He's got the twitch. He has the ability, and Coach Collins has done a great job with Isaiah and seeing him grow, and how, he's a fundamental player now and understands the defense much better. So I'm excited for him to take a big step from week 1 to week 2, because in college football, that's the biggest thing. You see guys, regardless of how week 1 goes, obviously it didn't go the way we wanted to by any means, but I'm excited just from our staff to our players, just, how are we going to take that growth step from week 1 to week 2? And that's crucial. And I'm excited to see Isaiah do the same.
Spence, how would you describe the energy, the buzz, the excitement inside the blue for a home opener?
Oh man, I can't wait. It's been a couple years, and I got to watch some YouTube videos just to remind myself of what it feels like. It was even when the spring game happened and whenever we had 6,000 fans. I know when our players walked out, it felt like it was packed. Because they were used to the two guys and the fans. BJ snuck in, and then there was one other. You know what I mean? That's all there was last year. And so it was cool just to see that, and excited for our guys to experience a full stadium with the fan base that loves them, and obviously you work your tail off for the 8-9 months to get to these games that you can perform in front of your fans. So it's going to be rocking. I'm excited for Boise Nation to be here. I'm excited for our guys and the task we have at hand.
Thanks, Spence.
Thanks, Will.
Paul J.
Coach, you're playing a team that last game against Bethune-Cookman ran the ball 70% of the time. They like to run the ball a lot. Is it easier or harder to prepare a team that is going to run it 3 out of 4 times as regarded to a team who surprises you with a run?
No, good question, Paul J. I mean, at the end of the day, for us, especially on defense, we have to react to whatever a team does, which is obvious. But a team, like UTEP and like some of those teams out there where they're going to run the ball more than they're going to throw it. Obviously, your game plan's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, us as coaches just want to put our guys in good situations and teach them to have the fundamentals to go make the plays when they're there, because at some point we don't, we have some stats and different times where we think they're going to throw it or they're going to give different runs, but we don't know it. So it's putting our guys in good situation with good calls where they can go out and operate with the right techniques, whatever those might be, to achieve the success they have. So at the end of the day, I mean, you've got a better idea in regards to playing some of these teams that run the ball a lot, like a UTEP or a Wyoming. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to execution, and the best team that executes is going to have success.
Do you try to stop the run and force them to pass?
Yeah, I mean, for us on defense, we want to be on the attack no matter what it is. It's not something where we're going to stop the run and we'll give up pass. But at the end of the day, we're going to, against a team like UTEP, and it's our number one goal, regardless who we play, is going to be stopping the run. And we know we need to do that this week. We need to take a big step from week 1.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Paul J.
All right, real quick, we'll go back through Jay, Ron, BJ, if you have any follow-ups.
I do. Spencer, when it comes to Rodney Robinson, what can you tell us about Rodney Robinson, what he brings to the table? I mean, obviously, Kekala went down, and like the very first play Rodney comes in, he comes up and he almost makes a TFL. I was laughing about like one of his on kickoff one time, the kid gets blown up, but he gets right back up and finishes off, running through the end zone. What can you tell us about Rodney Robinson?
Yeah, Rodney. I mean, first and foremost for Rodney, I mean, when I think of Rodney, I think of juice. I mean, he is fun to be around. He is always bringing the energy to whatever situation I'd be. It could be a team meeting to the practice field. I mean, he's bringing that life, that energy, always has a big smile on his face. And the second thing that comes to mind when I think of Rodney is football player. I mean, that's who he is. That's who he was in high school. He was a 2-time defensive player of the year in his conference. That's who he is. He's a football player, and he's undersized, but he makes up for it with being extremely savvy. He's fast, he's explosive, and he's very smart. And he understands how to use his body to make plays. And it's cool seeing him, what he did on special teams, and then being ready to roll when call went down with the targeting call, seeing him come in and not skip a beat. And you could tell that he had been prepping the way he needed to because he came in and he was ready to roll. And so excited for him to take that step now that call is on the sideline for a half and see, all right, Rodney, you want to be the guy at some point. Now here's your chance to show what it looks like. I know he's excited for the challenge.
Will you have to change who sorts things out? And can Rodney handle that?
Say it one more time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Kekala is such a communicator back there.
Oh, yeah.
Can Rodney handle that?
He's going to grow into it. I know we even worked some of it today, and he knows it. It's just that confidence that comes with the prep to be able to do it at a high level like Kekala does. Obviously, there's going to be guys around him that need to also pick up the slack with Kekala out, because Kekala is one of those players that when you don't have him, I mean, there's a good void. And so the players around him picking it up, but also Rodney stepping into those shoes and being confident in what he does know to be able to communicate on the field and get things right is going to be huge.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thanks, Jay.
Spence, on Thursday, I don't think we saw Scale on the field at all until the third quarter. Can you just talk a little bit about how important he is in terms of run defense and about his availability this week?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, guys, depth chart wise and some of those things I'll be dealing with Coach Al. But for us, our guys are gonna compete. The best players are gonna play, and at the end of the day, I love Scale, and he brings a lot to the table, just like every single one of our players. Got stuff to grow in, just like coaches do. And so the big message for me with him, with the rest of our D line, linebackers, DBs, is we did some good things on Thursday night. We did some things that we need to grow in, and let's take a big step to week 2.
How important is he to the run and to run defense?
I mean, he's a big part of it, and he's a really good football player. And when he's doing what he should be doing and playing with good fundamentals and technique, he's one of the best. And so excited to see him just continue to grow in that. And, him with Scott Matlock, with Jackson Cravens, with Divine, Mike Callahan, like these guys are, and Coach Miley's doing a good job with them. They just need to keep taking steps in the right direction, and they're going to grow and learn from week 1.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Ron.
I think 3 takeaways a game is your guys' goal, right? Or has been in the past. And
it is. Yep.
You got 2, and the one you almost could have had for 3 ended up being a huge swing in the game, the interception over the middle that you guys could have had. I mean, I know it's easy to look back and say it, but how different could the game have been if you could have hold on to that one?
Yeah, BJ. I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's multiple plays in the game that you look at, and I'll be the first to tell you that you look at it and you can kind of think about if it goes different, what it looks like from either that pick or a tackle here or whatever it might be. I mean, those games that are tight like that or can swing back and forth so quickly. I mean, you're on that razor's edge. Especially playing defense. You get that pick and you're could be a different game, could not be. I don't know. Obviously, we have to get those in the future, and that's kind of our talk with the team. Is we got to create takeaways, and we got 2. We had 1 4th down stop, which was awesome, but our goal is 3, and we needed that one. There's obviously other ones on the table. The ball was on the ground one time. We got it out and didn't jump on it. So there's multiple opportunities that we didn't capitalize on that we need to. And in that game and in the games to come, we're gonna need them.
We were talking to Tim, Plow a lot about the third quarter. Defensively in that third quarter, I mean, they had some momentum going. It wasn't a packed house, but they were bouncing. It was getting loud there in the third quarter. And that was something that, you got, hasn't been something you guys have played with in a while in terms of crowd and things like that. And just for you guys in that third quarter, just how hard was it to kind of slow the momentum that they were building there as they were making that comeback?
Yeah, I mean, the third quarter, was tough, and it came down to, we didn't make the plays when we needed to. We got them in a lot of third downs and couldn't get off the field with either a scramble or a throw or just a situation that didn't go our way. And at the end of the day, it comes down to I got to put them in better situations. And then when those guys are in the situations, they got to make the plays. And that goes down to us making sure from individual drills to group drills, we get them the work they need so that when they're in those situations, they can make plays. But, the third quarter, we got to be way better. And it starts with me, and it starts with the plan and getting our guys in the right situations. Cause we can't have those laps in that quarter or any quarter, especially the season we have in front of us.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, BJ.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Spence.